2007, Apex received an investment from Tonka Bay Equity Partners. Carrie Musich, who's also a St. John's grad, partnered with us to really look at the business and see ways that we could drive the business to a higher level. At that point, we determined we needed to have our own electronic offering as the world was changing. So we began the process of looking for ways we wanted to do that. My recommendation was to bring in my classmate from St. John's, Pat Maurer, who had a technology background. So Pat came on board in 2008, and then from there we began to build what today is our electronic offering. The services we're offering today, the way we see the market going today, we wouldn't be able to do if we never would have made that jump. The jump from being a print and mail company to a technology company. Sophomore year, I was approached by two friends of mine looking for things to do on campus, and their suggestion was opening a video store on campus. So Tom Morris and I and Dave Sullivan opened an on-campus video store, which we believe is the first for-profit business in the history of St. John's campus, and launched that business at the end of sophomore year. It was successful. So the beginning of junior year really took the business to another level, recruited two other friends of ours, Dennis Dusick, John Hughes came on board, and then started to look at ways to grow that. We started to divide responsibilities. All of us were management majors. I was the one who had the accounting minor, so they said I would do kind of all the accounting. I could understand the difference between a balance sheet and income statement, so they let me do that. I tell those guys today the reason they chose me is, I had the minor in accounting, which we all know a minor in accounting is like from St. John's, is really like a master's degree from St. Thomas. What I learned in that was a lot. Number one, that we could actually start a business. Just having a crazy idea, a bunch of guys in a dorm room with an idea that actually could be a legitimate business. After working for corporate America for 6 years, I had about enough. That wasn't a really good fit for me. So I came home one day and told my wife, Shelley, that I was going to start my own business. We made that choice there and launched Apex in 1995. So those previous experiences kind of gave me the confidence to be able to do it, to be able to at least start somewhere. I started out in my house. I was a one-man operation for the first 2.5 years of the business. Apex Revenue Technologies was started in 1995 and primarily serviced the healthcare industry for statement processing. So when you go and see the doctor, whether it be at a big facility or a small local doctor, when they go to generate those statements, the paper bills that you get at home, they transmit that data to us, and we print and mail those statements. And we've been doing that for 21 years. What's happened in the business in the last 7 or 8 years, it's evolved quite substantially. So we launched an electronic platform in 2008, and that platform allows the statements to go from being in paper to electronic form, and ultimately to allow you to go online and pay those bills electronically. Look back on the whole 21 years, there wasn't a vision for me to have what we have today, which is 3 locations, 125 employees, over $60 million in revenue. That wasn't the vision. The vision was ultimately to get out of my basement and have an office, maybe have an assistant. That was really the short-term vision. But as I got to that step, it kind of gets boring. So I wanted to take the next level. The difficulty from going from 20 employees to 50 to 80 to 120 we have today is starting to let go. We have to let go of all the things that you've been good at that's built the business to that stage. You have your fingers in everything. You're good at most things, if not all, but most things you're good at to get the business to that level. When you have to hire people and hand over large portions of the company to them is a huge change in a business of 20 to 25 employees before you get to 50. So that was really the biggest change that I've had to undergo of just letting go of these areas, hiring people, determining if those people are successful or not. They're going to do it differently than you've done it, but are they going to be successful at it? So over primarily the last 7 years, we've had some significant growth. I've pushed most of that stuff off my plate and really focused on making sure that team of executives that's very, very talented, that they're interacting correctly with each other, that there's good communication, that we are sharing opportunities with each other because we all have some experiences that ultimately can help us be more successful. Coming up with the next new solution to problems really starts with understanding the industry, understanding healthcare. But if you're not engaging them and talking to them, you won't understand it at all. Every year we have an annual client council where we bring in select clients into our corporate, and you can quickly figure out when you listen to your client in a group setting and multiple clients that most of them are facing the same types of issues. They might have different ways that they're trying to address those issues, and our challenge is to figure out what they're doing currently to address them. Is that an area that we can help them with? Can we launch a competing solution to it? Or should we be working alongside of them with a similar solution or something that's a little more enhanced to make sure the investments they've already made in technology, they can use those to drive better results? Number one, if you're a young entrepreneur, let's define young as maybe somebody, not age as much as they haven't done this before. They haven't launched a business before. I would classify it that way. Is someone, if you have an idea, maybe stop thinking about it and just start doing it. You have to take the first step. You have to get out there and do it. And then from there, when you launch your business, make sure you have a group of advisors to that business. Maybe it's a personal board of advisors to you. Maybe it's a board of advisors to the business. Maybe it's somebody who already has a successful business they've run for a number of years and they can just work with you one-on-one. But to make sure you don't repeat the same mistakes that all of us make over and over, reach out to those people. You'll find when you do that people who've launched businesses and been successful love to give back in that sort of way. And once the business is launched, make sure you're more, I'd say, outside focused than inside focused. Be focused on the customer. And whether it be a B2B type business like ours, where we love to interact, I personally love to interact with clients because they usually have the answers that I'm looking for, or whether it be a business to consumer application, go out and talk to the marketplace. And today there's so many ways to do that with social media that you can find out demand a lot easier than you did maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So those would be the piece of advice I would give right out of the gate.